Hello, hello. It is Chitter Chatter time. You know what time it is. We are here another Thursday for another episode. And you know we have a whole lot of... She's back, ladies and gentlemen. So, she's definitely back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for another episode of Chitter Chatter. And today our topic is stop. Take a break. Sometimes you need to stop, take a break. Sometimes you need to stop and recollect yourself. As Black women in our community, sometimes we don't stop when we need to, and sometimes we actually never stop when we need to. The good, the bad, and the ugly. First things first, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our drinks mixed. Tonight, I'm drinking wine. Oh my gosh, Miss Amanda. Just a little dab. Go ahead and reintroduce yourself.
Hello, everyone.
Hold on a second. It's been a while since you've been here. Yes, Miss Amanda, my mother, is back here to join us for Chitter Chatter. She's getting back into the flow of things.
I don't have to get back in the flow of things. I am the flow of things. So anyway, you guys, I just want to say hello.
Volume 6.
To one, hello to all. Yes, I have been away for a while. This camera, because I don't know what I'm looking at. No, it's there. Okay. I just wanted to say, yes, it has been a while. I mean a good little while, because the summer started in June. My grandbaby came to visit us. So I've been playing a granny role. As well, I have been so busy. I just, over this last weekend, had the opportunity of celebrating my 35th plus 1 year anniversary. COVID tried to stop us in 2020, but we did not quit. We kept going. We kept pushing. So yes, tonight with this topic, this is a very sensitive topic for me, because I have been a workaholic all my life. So there are times where, yes, I needed to slow down. I needed to stop, and I didn't. So yes, I understand this topic tremendously. Hello, Kiwanis.
Hello, Miss Kiwanis. I didn't want to interrupt you.
It's good to see you again.
So glad to have you here. And before we get deep into the topic, ladies, you know we have to mix our drink. I went ahead. I actually found this plum wine. This is actually the wine I think they have at the sushi bars. If you go and you eat sushi, it's a plum wine. I found it is perfect for les plums, so that's what we're gonna be drinking with a backup Moscato in case this runs out. I didn't know Miss Amanda was joining me tonight, but she is. So first things first, ladies, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna toast up. Miss Kiwanis, we're so happy to have you here. If you're just now tuning in, this is Chitter Chatter. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. It is Chitter Chatter time. Let's toast it up, ladies. Welcome to Chitter Chatter. So often in our community, we don't take time to really recognize what we have ourselves going on. Sometimes, and sometimes our body tries to give us signs and symptoms: headaches, migraines, sore feet, backaches. All of these things are things that we as Black women ignore, but those are your body's way of telling you that maybe you need a break. Maybe you need to get yourself checked out. Maybe you just need a nap. Miss Amanda, working in a salon all of your life and having to be a single mom and raise kids and just being a Black woman, just pushing through everything, what would you tell your younger self as far as it comes to when it comes to taking a break? Would you advise breaks? When and how? Like, you should break when and how.
One of the things that I admire about the younger generation is I don't think they work as hard as we used to work. And I think that's a good thing. Like, because I remember when I was in the salon, I get up 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm up. All I thought about was work. I had to get to the salon. 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, I was still in the salon. And sometimes I look at these young people and I'm like, do they ever work? You know, because they be on vacations. Hey, I'm going to Hawaii this week. I'm going here. And I'm thinking, I never had time to do that. Or put it this way, I never made time to do that. So one of the things that I teach during my coaching is not just how to build your business, but how to build your business and live the lifestyle that you've always dreamed of. And that last part is so key, because you can't live that lifestyle if you're constantly overworking. Absolutely. You have to take breaks. You have to know. So how I would do that, it's all about prioritizing and having a plan and putting in your vacations. And if you say you open at 8 o'clock, open at 8 o'clock. If you say you close at 3 o'clock, close at 3 o'clock. You have to create a system in your business or in your life, and you have to stick with it and not let anyone change your plan. Because people have nerves, hey, let's do this, let's do that. And you didn't have that as a part of the plan. Or can you do my hair at 6 o'clock and you already knew you was planning on going home at 7 and this person called you at the last minute. And you might say, oh, I need the money, I'm going to do it, blah, 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 blah. And you really don't have the time or whatever the case might be. And you just wear your little self down.
And it also takes away from your personal time with your family and your friends. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, in our life, we just need to take a time out. Because if you don't, sometimes you can get overwhelmed. Sometimes you can get sick. Like, stress in our body doesn't really surface until we begin to overwork. So I wrote this poem strictly for moments and times when you feel like you need a break or a timeout and it's just not coming. Time out. I wish life had a pause button so I could stop, think, and recollect, gather my thoughts and put my life into perspective. Because my mind's going crazy. Everything seems so hazy. My soul sometimes gets lazy while I chase this dream I'm chasing. This dream that has become a nightmare. One of those nightmares you can't escape. The type of nightmare that makes you shake, traps you in your sleep so you can't awake. The type of nightmare that you think about the next day. So much you have to stop and pray it away. Time out. Now I'm stuck trying to figure out how this dream became a nightmare. How was that my reality and I wasn't aware? Maybe I didn't care. And sometimes when you don't care, you aren't aware of so many things that everyone that's around you can see so clear. Time out. I need a break from reality to properly regain my sanity because I'm going insane and I'm losing my mind and I'm so sick of tears and I hate when I cry. I don't know why, but I do. And that makes me cry harder if I tell you the truth. Time out. I fell out of love with love. Or maybe love fell out of love with me. That's actually the biggest mystery that exists to me. I'm searching and praying, but I don't even really know what I'm looking for. It feels like my body is sick and my soul can't find its cure. I'm praying for change. I've been living in hell, so I'm praying for rain. Time out! Truth be told. Ladies and gentlemen, as Black women, sometimes we get so overwhelmed dealing with everything, we need a time out. And the time out that is described in that poem are when we're exploding, when we just can't take no more. And those are the moments when you really sit back and you're trying to discover who you are. How did I get here? How did I fail to take a break? When did I need to take a break? This is why we need to talk about this in our community, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we have this platform. If you're just now tuning in, this is Chitter Chatter. And it is Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. 5 ways to connect with Uniqua. You can follow me on Instagram at I am Uniqua. That's IAMUNIQUIA. You can follow me on Facebook, Uniqua Manigault, UNIQUIA, MANIGAULT. And if you have not yet joined the Black Girl Beauty Group, on Facebook, go ahead and join that. That's where you can keep up with Uniqua Manigault. That is how you can tune into the topics. That's how you keep up with what is going on with Miss Amanda Manigault. That is how you keep up with everything that we have to offer here at Black Girl Beauty. And starting this month, ladies, we will officially be accepting applications to the Uniqua Performing Arts Academy, and it is going to be amazing. We have so many things planned for the youth, and we're just ready to go ahead and get started to that. And Miss Amanda, you can reintroduce yourself and tell everyone how to get in contact with you.
Well, there are 5 ways to get in contact with me. Number 1, through Amanda's Art of Cosmetology Institute. That is www.amandasartofcosmetology.com. And then the second way to reach me is through the Amanda Manigault Salon Company or Amanda Manigault Ministries, which is Black Girl Beauty Foundation. The 4th way is through Black Girl Beauty. I'm a Black Girl Beauty coach, and that's blackgirlbeautyinc.com, where we teach people how to build their businesses successfully and teach them how to, which is perfect for this topic, for beauty students, beauty professionals, and small businesses. We teach you how to build your business and create success fast while designing the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. And as I said earlier, you cannot design that lifestyle if you do not know how to prioritize your life and know when to stop and when to start. You got to push the button. You got to know when to stop the button. And if you do not regulate this, if you do not get control of this, it control of you. And you will wake up one day, and I'm not just talking just to be talking, I'm talking from experience. You will wake up one day and you won't even know what hit you. You won't know where you're at, what happened to your life.
And time goes so fast in those moments, ladies. I was just speaking to a friend recently about how when you get caught in depression, that's why when you get caught in depression and you're not used to taking breaks, you can look up and 5 years have passed you by, 10 years have passed you by, and you're wondering how that time flew by and how you're still where you are. You get lost in life and caught up in the motion of things that you fail to stop and take a break. When I posted this question in the Black Girl Beauty group, there were a few ladies that came in and they had a few responses to the questions, because one of the things that I asked was, do you know when to take a break? And I can ask you that to Miss Amanda, because like I said, I was actually raised in the salon because of your lack of breaking. So not that that's a bad thing, because you learn and experience a lot of things on hand growing up in the business. But what I'm saying is it's
all I knew how to do was work.
Right.
That's all I thought I had to do.
And she has a 0% error rate, lady.
So I knew that I had to work. I was a single mom at times. I was married as well, but I was a single mom during those times. And I knew I had to work, but I didn't create a system where I needed a break. I thought, okay, I'm gonna work now, and it'll pay off for me later. So I didn't have a stop button. And that's one of the things that I do regret during my younger career, that I did not have a stop button, and I overworked myself. And I believe the times that came when I ran into that brick wall, it was because I didn't take a break. I didn't take that break. And when you constantly working and you don't stop, sometimes you run into trouble, or trouble's going to run into you. You didn't see certain things because you were constantly working. And
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you honestly, that was one of the turn-offs for me. Like failure to take a break. Like we work. Like I go to school, come home, we're in the salon, then we would go home, go to school, come home, sit in the salon. That was our routine every day. So as a kid growing up like that used to be what it had I known then what I know now, the importance in business and all that, I would have been, I don't know, I probably still, because it's like the breaking, we never took breaks.
I remember
we never took breaks. We would be in the salon late.
Yeah, and I remember even when you had company over.
Yes, I would have.
Mama, she would wake up in the morning.
She would wake my friends up early Saturday morning, like 7 o'clock. We're getting up, getting dressed, going to the salon.
Elder Green. How are you today, cousin? Good to see you joining us.
Yes. So yes, we didn't have breaks, but what I will say is, our work relationship, like we work very well together without taking breaks. So imagine how amazing bomb we could be if we threw some breaks up in there.
Right.
Let's take one sip to that, ladies.
But
add in.
But one thing I will say, I agree to add in breaks, and women, it's important to take care of yourselves. I won't say I didn't take care of myself, because I did take care of myself, but at the same time, I deserve to have breaks. Right. You deserve to have a vacation.
Black women, what we do is sometimes we do certain things out of routine, such as getting our nails and feet done, but we never like have it. It's not a systematic thing. Like I'm going every Friday and and this is how we're gonna go. It's like I want to it's the failure to be consistent because of our lack of taking breaks. Like you can plan to do this for a week, and then for maybe a week or two, this is what's going on, and then you get caught up with work because you're like, oh, I don't have time today. I gotta finish this, that, and that. And that's what I mean by you have to always set aside time. And this is something that I'm just learning, because I feel like it's just healthier for you as women to have times and moments just for yourself. Like just regardless of what's going on, you need to have a day, at least an hour, where you're just focusing on you.
Well, and not just, with you, with your spiritual self, with your mental self, with your physical self. These are things, you got 24 hours in a day. And out of those 24 hours, you cannot forget about yourself. And yourself, you have to feed yourself. You have to educate yourself. You have to empower yourself. those are the things that help keep you going in your trade, on your job, with your family. All those things. You have to invest in yourself. You have to be willing to put time into yourself to keep you going, to keep you functioning on a day-to-day basis. Because if you don't, like I said, you're going to run into some things. Number one, you're going to be burnt out mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. You're going to be burnt out. So you have to take the time to put into you to avoid these problems.
So, well, what advice would you give to a woman that doesn't like? Because I had one of my guests on last week. One of the things that she said is like, she's a single mom. She has 2 kids. She has a business. She got bills. She doesn't really have time to take a break. She was explaining that her drive from her house to the Chitter Chatter was her break. It was like a 15-minute.
Wow.
Like, what advice would you give to that woman on how to make time for herself, simply because, as a woman and as a mother, I actually wouldn't know, but I can assume as a mother, some things it's non-negotiable. I don't have time for a break. I got to do this, that, and that.
No, and some things is non-negotiable, and some things you just must do. Because like I said, if you don't take care of you, you can't, somewhere you're going to lack in being a good mother. If you don't take care of you, somewhere you're going to lack in running that business. It will take, you have to have a well-balanced life. You have to put time into self. You have to put into your spiritual self. You have to put into your mental self. You really have to take the time. So my advice to
and
her,
your physical self.
And my advice to her is, when she gets up in the morning and her day is planned out, and she know, well, I got to take the kids to work at 5 or 7. I got to fix them breakfast. I got to read the Bible. I got to do this. When she plans out, she has to put in some time for herself. You have to put that time in, Paper Towel. She has to put that time in for herself and treat yourself just like, hey, if I got to be on the job from 8 to 5, from 5 to 6 or whatever time is going to be my me time, whether it's sitting down reading a book, whether it's sitting on your porch relaxing, whether it's going to the beach, whether it's going to the beach on Saturday or whatever. Those little things is what you have got to do for yourself. Every Saturday I'm going to go to the beach. You owe that to yourself. You owe that to yourself. God gave you the authority over these children. He gave you the authority over running that business. He gave you the authority to run your home. So if you're, running your home, so if that's the case, he wants us to love on ourselves. He wants us to take care of ourselves. He wants us to be good to ourselves. Absolutely. Because in order for us to witness to other people, we can't do that in a stressful manner. You can't run that business and you all over here and over there and over there and have no control over your own life. But we will try.
We will try to do it.
Yes, we try to do it all. And I remember before COVID, I had ran into a situation where I started working from home. And I never knew the beauty of being in my own home until that time. And that wasn't something that I chose to do. That was a part of my life that, forced me to be at home. I'm at home right now. So now I'm working from home. And I know a lot of people can, understand that because COVID forced them to be at home. And they're like, wow, I never spent this much time at home. And that's what I experienced. And when I began to experience that, being at home, I started loving on myself a little bit more and doing more stuff for myself, spending more time with myself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And in the midst of that, I understood. I said, wow, all these years I missed out on this. All these years I didn't see the beauty and the importance of this. So I say to you ladies out there now, I don't care how much money you're making. I don't care how many children you have. I don't care what your schedule is on a day-to-day basis. You have got to make time to take care of yourself. Make sure whatever it is you love to do, if it's going to the beach, if it's bike riding, whatever it is, make time to do. If it's walking, I love the old ladies when I go to the park, y'all. I go to the park and it's like a group, it's like 10 or 12 of them that be at the park every morning at 6 a.m. I mean, and they're tight. They're walking around every morning for a good hour, 2 hours. And I love that because that's time that they are taking out of their day to spend on themselves, to hang out with the ladies, to communicate, to just talk and laugh. And laughing is good for the soul.
Absolutely.
So these are the things that you have to do for yourself. I don't care what job you have.
Absolutely. What job or lifestyle? Because sometimes it's the little things that count, lady. Exercising, and we should make a group that exercise workout buddy. It's important to do things together and fellowship and network and get to know other women as well. And on the flip side, we, as far as stopping is concerned, because that's what the topic is tonight. If you're just now tuning in, ladies, this is Chitter Chatter. It is here. We are here for another Thursday night. This is your host, Miss Uniqua Manigault, with my co-host, Miss Amanda Manigault. She is back here finally.
Yes, you guys, I have been enjoying my little summer. I've been all over the place. Have my grandbaby in town, and you know how it is with the grandkids. You want to give them your undivided attention. And then I was one of the chairs for my 35th year class reunion. So I tell you, that was an awesome experience, having that honor of being a part of that and organizing that. And so we spent last weekend enjoying the reunion. So all of that, you know, and that's where I've been. So you guys, did y'all miss me?
Yes, we did. We absolutely didn't miss you. You can absolutely count on it that you've been missed.
Okay, really.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the flip side, because we're speaking about how sometimes we don't take breaks, we don't stop, we don't rest. Also, when it comes to stopping, sometimes, ladies, we fail to let go of certain circumstances when we should. We do not stop and walk away from circumstances that we should. We allow people, family, friends, co-workers, just random people sometimes to use us and take. And the Bible tells us to be a giver, but do not be a foolish giver. And a foolish giver gives and gives and gives and gives and gives until they have no more left of themselves. So like my mom was saying earlier, you can't give and do for someone else if you can't give and do for yourself. So that brings me to the flip side of the question. Why? And can you speak from personal experience of circumstances and situations where you should have stopped and walked away, but you didn't, and how it changed you as a woman?
I should have stopped and walked away.
Should have stopped and walked, whether it be a family, a friend, a business, because you've been in business, and it could be in any circumstances. Just sometimes as women, as Black women, we allow, because we're always trying to, we have, like they say, we have to be twice as good.
Well, I just think that the load falls on us.
Right,
we don't
absolutely.
necessarily ask for it. You know, I think as a leader, and not just a leader in business, but even as a leader in my family, that people depend on us, and we feel obligated to always be there for people. And there are times, though, when God says it's time to sit down, you know, take care of you. And that goes with learning how to say no. You have to know when to say yes, and you have to know when to say no. Because what I found out, if people know that they can continue to call you for every little thing,
they will.
They won't even try for themselves. And then you begin to enable people.
Absolutely.
And what you don't want to do is enable people. Because what happens when you're not around?
What happens when you need something? You can't call on someone you have enabled.
Not just that. I think oftentimes, I know of myself, people think you don't need anything.
Absolutely.
Because you're always the giver. Because you're the one that's always doing this and doing that.
And how does that? Have you ever had a circumstance where you felt like you should have been loved and supported and you weren't? And how did that make you feel?
Well, I think, you know, growing up a little bit, when I became a mother, I was a young parent. I was also at that time, you know, making lots of money. And when the holidays came around, like, nobody bought for my kids. Like, they didn't buy my kids gifts and for Christmas or their birthdays, because they always assumed that they had everything. So that kind of bothered me a little bit, because I'm like, that's not fair. You know, these are my children. These are your grandchildren. This is your niece, your nephew. And they deserve to get gifts too. So those were some of the things that bothered me.
Did you ever speak on any of those things?
I did. Over time, I brought it to their attention. But my kids never received gifts from people, and that bothered me, because family I'm talking about, because they always felt like, oh,
Or
Amanda
friends.
got it, or a man, they don't need this, or they don't need that. And that's, I always thought that was unfair.
And some things, ladies and gentlemen, you have to, if you're not gonna, if it's, some things need to be addressed so that they can change. Because I also believe that that's a trait. I think that's a trait that we carry. It's like somehow, some way. I've been in the same kind of circumstances where I felt, I don't have any kids or anything, but there have been circumstances and instances that I've had things and occasions, and certain family and friends didn't show up, and it makes you wonder sometimes. So I think that if we don't, as women, if we continue, if we continue to allow ourselves to be taken from and taken from and taken from, our little children watching us go through that same thing naturally do the same. We not, like, you're a giver, your child's gonna be a giver. Your child's a giver, their child's gonna be a giver, but not a foolish giver. And if you fail to address the foolishness in which you are giving, then it will continue. Not to say that it's foolish, because it's always nice. It's a blessing to be a blessing. I'm just saying, in order for you to grow and blossom and bloom, you have to. If you continue to give bricks out and give bricks out and give bricks out before your house is built, it'll never get built. First, build your home, and then lend what you can. That's what I mean by that. What were you about to say?
Well, I just think that,
that's what
it
part of
goes
stopping.
with saying no to knowing how to say no.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes people will take advantage of you, if you don't know how to say no. And next thing you know, they make their problems your problems, or they got something going on and they done pulled you in it because of the fact that you're always trying to be there to help others, and you don't realize, what, I'm going to stay out of this.
Right.
That's their issue, especially it happening continuously.
And you know what? What I've always said is, hey, Miss Dorothy, so glad to have you here, ladies. If you're just now tuning in, ladies, this is Chitter Chatter, and we are speaking on stopping, ladies. Sometimes you need to take a break. Sometimes you need to know when you're doing too much and you need to pull back and stop. And this also goes to not even just how, because what I like to say is, how you do one thing is how you do everything. How you exist in your relationship with your family also trickles down to how you exist in your relationships with your spouses. Because I personally can speak on circumstances and situations and relationships that I have been in where I found myself giving more of myself than I was getting. And it wasn't because anything was asked of me. I've never been with the type of person that just asks of me. But me just being the type of person that I am, I give. And then you look up after giving so much and you realize you've been giving nothing. I'm going to take one sip to that, ladies. Pay attention to those that are giving to you while you're giving. Some people just allow you to give and give and give and give and give. And some people reciprocate. Like, while you're giving, they're giving. And it's a two-way street. You have to stop, pay attention, and realize who's reciprocating the give, who's just receiving the give. It doesn't mean that you have to stop giving. It does, but it does mean that you need to change up some things about how you're giving. Miss Amanda, can you speak on that, about how you can be to be too much giving in a relationship?
In a relationship, I think it takes two.
Absolutely.
And you have to have an understanding. I think in any relationship that it should be a mutual understanding, and you have to know, okay, if this other person is not giving the way I'm giving, and somehow there's a problem. And again, it all boils down to communication. You have got to know how to communicate. I don't care if it's your family member, a relationship. If you're in any type of relationship with someone and you find yourself doing all the giving and they're just constantly receiving, you need to sit down and talk to them first. And after you talk to them and then you see that don't change, then you sit down and talk again. But if you keep on talking and you keep on saying the same old thing over and over and over again, and they don't get it and they're just constantly taking, I think it depends. Is this my husband, or if this is a friend, or if this is, it all depends who that is in your life. But communication is everything.
Absolutely. And I want to, in our community, it is so common and so popular for us as women in relationships and friendships in life, before we decide that we're going to stop, before we decided we're going to walk away, before we decided we're going to give up, we go through hell and hot water.
Well, that comes back to communication, because we will we will let things get to the point where it just gets up
and
under
that is
our
my
skin
question.
Before we make
Why
a
do we
decision.
do that? Why do we do that? Why not in our community? And this is for every woman watching. I want to know, why in our community don't we normalize leaving after the first mistake? Why do we make so many excuses for men to make mistakes consistently? Like it's always an excuse as to why, not even men, people. Because sometimes it's family and friends, co-workers. Why make excuses for people that do the same things consistently?
Because
why do we have
most of the time?
1 second, the question is, why do we have to have the same thing happen to us repetitively before we decide that, like, 1 strike, 2 strike, no, not 3 strike, 1 strike? Why don't we normalize walking away after the first strike? Because it's not that they, like, you know, sometimes we make mistakes, but you need to already have your guard up so that you know that this is the type of person that you are. You have to prove to me that that's not the type of person you are after the mistake 1, not the twice. What were you about to say?
Well, I just think that we're hoping that this person changes or that they get it.
What did Maya Angelou say?
She said when a person shows you who they really are, believe them.
The first time.
But what I'm trying to say is
that's key.
You want them to understand, and
we want them to
get it.
We want.
Keep on giving, hoping and praying that they will begin to understand.
Listen, that is our problem. You see her unwillingness to stop? That's what we're talking about, ladies. We need to learn when to stop. You so anxious to get out what you're saying that I can't even conclude what I'm saying. We have to know when to stop, ladies. You have to know when to stop, see what's going on. Stop, recollect yourself. Stop, walk away, and get what's better for you. We have to know when to take time. We're going to take 1 sip to that, ladies. Know when to stop. Look around.
Got this tag on the bottom of the thing. Yes, know when to stop and know when to start.
And know when you need to not start.
And know when you need to not start. You know, we got to stop repeating the same mistake. This is Black Girl Beauty, y'all.
Absolutely.
And Black women, we're talking about Black women, and we're talking about subjects that we don't normally talk about in our community. Things that we don't normally talk about in our community. What is that?
You know, one thing about a fly, they're the most disrespectful bug in the world.
Things
like,
that
of all the
we
things
don't
you can
normally talk about in
of all
our
the things
community.
you can do, they're like, you know, a fly just come, like, it has to come in your face. Proceed.
Anyway,
this is Chitter Chatter, ladies. We speak on everything that happens.
We speak on everything, how it happens, why it happens, because these are things that tear our community up. Not knowing how to say no, not knowing when to stop. I've seen
and being ashamed of everything that we
and
have
trying to take on too much. You know, I know a lady,
and we're ashamed to stop and say we need help.
Yeah, and I know a lady who she had her kids, when she had 4 kids. She took on her sister's kids who had 3 kids. And next thing I know, she had 7 kids in her house.
Hey.
She burnt herself out because even though she wanted to be there for her sister, that was a lot for her. And I often think about when I see this stuff, you know, I remember the white lady who her kids I don't know if she killed them in a river or something like that. But this woman had 10 kids, y'all. This happened many, many years ago. People get so overwhelmed by taking on so much, whether it's your job, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends.
And doing it alone. Black women, we're always, even sometimes when we have a man.
Right.
Because one of the women, and when I posted this question in the Black Girl Video, one of the women came in and she spoke on how sometimes women do everything that they do simply because they don't think that it'll get done the way it needs to get done if they don't do it. Like if I allow him to do this, he's gonna do it, but he's not gonna do it, and it's not gonna have this on it.
Or it ain't gonna happen fast enough.
Right. And you know what? Listen. Sometimes, you know the old saying, if you want something done properly, do it yourself. Mm-hmm. So that was one of the comments that was posted that was to that question as to why don't women take breaks.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and not only that, but I know in our community we don't have that support system that we would like to have or that we need. So oftentimes it's quicker just to do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or then I might explain it to you, and then I gotta explain it to you 5 times. I didn't explain it to you one time. I explained it to you twice. I explained it to you, and you still asking me the same old how to do it.
People are so unwilling to help someone else do anything that asking for a little bit of help to do anything sometimes when people come to you and ask for help, they already didn't want to ask. And then people give you such attitude, and so they're so unenthused to do anything, you don't even want to ask them. So that's what happens a lot of times in our community. We don't want to deal with the attitude of who we have to ask if we do have to ask one. That's where you were saying the lack of support. It's really a lack of support and love. Like when the money starts rolling in, people don't ever complain. But when you're asking someone to do your favors, or even working in a group, when we're coming together as Black women, we never really come together to support each other for a topic unless we have to get some type of praise. Like we were in such competition with each other. We're always trying to outdo each other. We all want credit for everything. We want credit for the best things. Oh, don't forget to put my name on it. Don't forget to say my name. Don't forget to do this. We're always so caught up in those circumstances, in those situations. We don't take time to stop and realize you are really around a good group of women. Like sometimes you were in a room full of beautiful, successful, entrepreneurial, educated Black women, but we're so busy competing and we're so busy hating on each other for no reason at all that we can't stop and learn from each other. We can't grow together. You don't even know. You over here asking her about Geico car insurance. And what's that girl's name? Flo. Flo is across the room. You don't even know she over there. You got to watch the commercials now. But you don't know Flo is across the room because you so busy mad at Tina. But Tina's talking to Flo. Tina is talking to the woman that you need to get what you need to go. And all you got to do is stop and say, hey, Tina. How are you?
So in other words, instead of burning ourselves out, learn how to connect with people who can help make your life easier on the job, in your own business, in your household. We are so busy knocking one another. I had a situation today where I got a phone call today from someone who asked me about a question that something that somebody else told them. And I'm like, and then the person who I found out who went and took this information back was someone very dear and near to me. And I'm like, you know what? Why?
Ladies and gentlemen,
why, y'all?
If you're just now tuning in, this is Chitter Chatter, and we are speaking on stopping, ladies. This is a prime example. Sometimes you need to stop, look around, and understand what is going on. We have a huge comment that just popped up in the comments.
What's going on in your life? What's going on in your life that you have to always be causing confusion in other people's life? I'm talking about stop. Stop, y'all. Stop. Be an adult.
Oh, yes.
Grow up.
Miss Kawana said, I'm just applying self-care. I quit my job at the restaurant. It consumed every weekend last summer and this summer till 3 weeks ago. I missed my daughter's birthday due to work. I think that was a wake-up for me. I have a full-time job at school as a kindergarten para. I feel so refreshed. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Black girl beauty. Sometimes it's not about the money. It's not about the location. It's not about anything other than you stopping and getting what you need for yourself because it's better for you. Sometimes you have to accommodate your health to succeed and get wealth. Taking time to have moments when like missing your child's birthday, that's a big deal to a kid. It's not, it seems minor and petty to a business person, but your relationship with your children matter. In our community, we need to snap back into that. I
missed a lot of things, Kiwanis. Over the years, working. I missed holidays. I missed friends events. I missed family events because those were the days where I was working, and never gave it a thought because I didn't know no better. It's called ignorance.
Because she never stopped and took breaks. It jumps back to what she said. Her friends probably assumed she never needed anything or never wanted anything.
Or they, some of them,
or maybe that
some
you,
of them even
some
got
of them
offended.
probably thought that you wouldn't be able to come if they invited you.
Or some of them got offended because I didn't come. Because I didn't make it when I was only working because I was a single parent out here trying to work it.
But
I didn't
that
take
goes
the
back to
breaks
communication. If you don't communicate that with, like, one thing about it, I always say, loving people is understanding how to love them. You know your friends and your family and how they're going to react if you do certain things. We're so stuck in this is how I am and accept me how I am or don't accept me at all that we don't stop and realize that people that we love, they're not reacting to us to get on our nerves or to be annoying or to do anything irritating. That's just how they are. This is how they would react to anybody in this circumstance. You're just not expecting them to react like that to you because they supposedly know you. But let's just be honest, the same way they know you, you know them. This is what we're trying to do in our community, ladies and gentlemen. We are trying to better ourselves. We are trying to find avenues and reasons for us to be a better community together, for us to exist seasoned and unseasoned together, for us to understand each other. Love, understanding, Black womaning is all about communication, love, and growth. If we don't stop and try to understand each other, how we are the way we are, why we are the way we are, there are so many women in our community that don't take breaks. There are so many women in our community that are nonstop, consistent, don't have time, don't do it. Mm-hmm. Do you understand why we're always so aggressive? Why we're always so quick to eager to snap? We ain't taking no breaks.
We're tired.
Imagine
we're
not taking no breaks, and we don't
even
speak
when you
about
show
it.
up at events, you're tired.
Tired.
Most of the time,
and you're barely holding on. You're at birthday parties just because you had to step out and you had to communicate. Those like I told you, the young lady said on my show, her drive from her home to here was a break for her. It's kind of like you don't have the time to break, so it's like you're breaking in your mind subconsciously when you should be here.
And Kiwanis says that. She said, I asked God to be my source. And that's the truth, Kiwanis, because
we're going to take one step to that.
So many times, we take these jobs because we want to make more money when you don't even have the time to put in them extra hours or to handle
the energy. You may not have the energy. Your body may not be able to. Because let's be clear, ladies, you done had 3 kids. You've been working all your life. You've never had a break. You're not taking anything. You got 10 jobs. You got 38 bills. It's all of that.
And this is another thing that I found out. When I finally stopped and I finally decided, you know what? I'm not going to ever work like that again. I realized that life is really simple, y'all. We make it more difficult than what it is. We think we need this. We think we need that. We think we gotta
materialistic.
Have this.
Where we're improperly training ourselves. That is Black girl beauty.
That's Black girl
beauty. We're educating
y'all.
ourselves.
That's right.
We're making it okay for you to exist exactly how you need to exist and be who you need to be in order for you to grow. Because if you don't know yourself, if you don't know what you like and you don't like, if you don't stop and rest, get to in those resting moments, you get to know things about yourself. Like some ladies have never sat down quietly with themselves for an hour. You don't even know how your body sounds when nothing is going on.
And speaking of that, we're planning an event for next year, and with Black Girl Beauty, we haven't decided what city we're going to be in just yet, or exactly what this trip is. But it's going to be a trip where you can relax, you pamper yourself, we can chit and chat, and have our little girl talk, and eat some good food, and dance a little bit, and pray a little bit, and sing a little bit. And all of that good stuff is what we're planning for next year. So I want you guys to please, if you're already on my mailing list, don't worry, you will get the information. If you're not on the mailing list, please go to www.blackgirlbeauty.org. www.blackgirlbeauty.org, and you will get the information coming soon for our event next year, which is our Women Empowerment Conference. And I tell you, it is going to be, as JJ said, dynamite, I can assure you. But anyway, yes, it is. But you guys, it's going to be dynamite.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, everything.
But we got to help each other, y'all. We have to help.
I don't know where she came out with.
I often tell my sisters when I see them and I identify. One of the things when I'm coaching people about cosmetology is the first thing I do is I ask them about their personal life. Because I'm telling you, I don't care what type of goals you have in business. If your personal life is not in order, I'm talking about your relationship.
Absolutely.
I'm talking about burning yourself out, your time. I'm talking about your finances. if that stuff is not in order, it will affect the way you do business.
Because it affects the person that you are. Mm-hmm. There's one thing we have to realize. We try to step away from it, but we need to keep it in mind. Who you are affects how you do business. Mm-hmm. There are certain people that like I'll just use an example. If you're a thief, you always have thievery on the mind. Stealing isn't always an option for you. People that don't steal never think like a thief. Like, you're not thinking if something happens, oh, let's go steal something. It's not in your mind. It's not a thought. Who you are and how you live your life and what you do on the daily basis affects how you do business. It affects certain things you're willing to do and you're not willing to do. That's another reason why you need to stop and look around yourself and get to know who you are, because you have to also be aware of the company that you keep. You have to be aware of things going on around you that not persuade you.
I'm gonna say this.
Hold on one second.
Hurry up. You got 5 seconds. You got 5 seconds. Go ahead.
You know, 10. She told me I had 5 seconds. This is Chitter. You may not get 5 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen. I was gonna say, go ahead.
Stop allowing people to waste your time.
Absolutely.
A lot of times we're burnt out because we're engaging with people who don't have our best interests, who come with drama, starting
who are not on our level.
Coming over here and stuff. I told somebody today, a dog who bring a bone will take a bone. Stop allowing these people in your life. I don't care how much you love them. I don't care how long they've been in your life. If they're bringing problems to you, weighing you down, that is a part of knowing when to stop. Oh, look at that fly. Knowing when to stop, ladies and gentlemen. You got to know when to stop. You
also, listen, ladies, and I want to be clear. You also have to be able to stop and realize, and I want you ladies to go ahead and take one sip to this. Stop and realize when you're the problem.
That is good too. And that comes along with part of you being the problem is, like I said, when you're enabling people or you're allowing people to come in your world.
Or you're using people as an excuse as to why you're doing what you're doing.
Feeling like people have to come to you and bring their drama and weigh you down. Or like she said, you're allowing people to bring it to you.
Or like you said earlier, your inability to say no, to stop. Like you gotta know how to listen. And I've been telling her a lot lately. I don't want to talk about that. Listen, I don't want to talk about that. Because she one of the people that tell stories and tell you every single little detail. You know, I went outside on the porch. And on the porch there was this tree. And on that tree was a bug. And on that bug, get to the point. You have to know when to tell people to stop. And so you can get yourself together.
And ladies, I'm telling people, don't bring me your drama. I don't want to hear that he say, she say crap. We 54 years old, 55, 56. Don't call me what you want. And stop calling me, telling me something that somebody else said. And then as soon as you hang up the phone with me, you done called them and told them I said this and I said that, and you're lying.
Please stop, because I'm old enough.
You're lying. Stop all that lying. We're too grown for that stuff. You hear me? Stop calling me.
Okay, Miss Amanda.
Telling me this and telling me that.
Okay.
I just had that experience. I couldn't believe it.
Okay, yeah.
We're 54 years old now. Yeah, it's called stop.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the last few minutes here on Chitter Chatter. If you're just now tuning in, ladies, we are on our way out. And here we are we had another great episode. The topic tonight was stop. You have to stop and realize when you need to take a break. You have to stop letting people take from you. You have to stop and get yourself together and pay attention to everything that's going around you. You have to stop doing things that you should have been stopped doing to get yourself together so that you can grow and get to the next level. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, we are speaking on grudges.
Kiwanis, are you going to come in on grudges? She said, I want to be a part of this. Kiwanis, are you ready? You've been watching this show.
I have sent Miss Kiwanis 2 messages that she has not responded to, inviting her on. So check your DMs, Miss Kiwanis. You will have 2 messages from me. I actually would love to have you to come on next week. Miss Amanda, you get real comfortable interrupting the queen, Lady Plum. So next week, ladies and gentlemen,
y'all. I wasn't here. I've been out of her hairs for over a month, and she missed me on this show.
Ladies and gentlemen, next week we're going to be speaking on grudges. We as Black women,
stop holding grudges, y'all.
You gonna tell them about it? I'm not gonna tell them. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to stop holding grudges. We have to learn how to move past it. I seen a post. Well, it ain't even a post. We all know. You have to learn to let go, because hate inside you, hate for someone else consumes you too. While you out here hating somebody and holding a grudge against them, they moving over their lives. They're not thinking about you. We're speaking about it next week, ladies. We have to stop letting go. And one thing I want to speak on and be real deep about it, get ready and prepared. We hold grudges against each other until death, but we forgive our men before the end of the day.
Let's drink on that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about it next week. This is Chitter Chatter, and we have 10 minutes. You want to go ahead and close out and give the ladies something to say here?
Well, I just really want to say to you ladies that it's important that I don't care if it's your job, I don't care if it's a relationship, I don't care if it's your children. Take the time out to love on yourself. Take the time out to continue to focus on you, your spiritual self, your mental self, your emotional self, yourself. Love on yourself, ladies. This was all. That's what this is all about. We're Black Girl Beauty,
Black women,
and we're here to encourage and empower you and to inspire you to love on you. Because once you begin to love on yourself, let me tell you,
you can love on each other,
and not only love on each other, but you can pretty much do anything you want to do because you love yourself.
In Jesus' name.
When you are not confident as to who you are, when you believe in yourself and you love yourself, you're going to take time out for yourself. You're going to take time out to read. You're going to take time out to even sleep. Sleep is important, y'all. Sleeping is very important. So you have got to make time to get all of that. That's right. Eating correctly, taking the time out to work out and take care of your beauty. I mean, your beauty. This is Black Girl Beauty, y'all. We're talking about the beauty in everything we do.
Absolutely.
Beautify yourself, mind, body, soul, spirit. It ain't about what size you are. It's about believing and trusting in yourself and loving on yourself no matter what. Okay?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm here to tell you today. And just don't forget, www.blackgirlbeautyinc.com so you don't miss out on .org. www.blackgirlbeauty.org so that you don't miss out on any opportunity or anything that we got, because we got some great things coming up.
Log in to get signed up for our classes.
That's
We're ready to rock and roll. And we have so much more available for you guys coming this year. This year is going to be so full and so packed of so many things. We're ready to slide. And if you have not yet gotten your hoop, ladies, go on over to shop.blackgirlbeautyinc.org.com and get your Black Girl Beauty hoop. We are still doing our hoop competition. I'm up now. This time last year is when I began my hoop journey. We're about to jump back into working out, worship Wednesdays.
Yes, my summer is over, y'all. When the summertime, I'm very lax. You don't see a lot. You don't hear a lot. But August is getting ready to roll around. And when August rolls around, I'm back to business. I take off in the summertime, y'all, because I was a workaholic.
She always has something that she has going on to say who, what, when, why.
So
now you take off in the summer. And next time it's going to be something else.
That's right.
This is one person. This is why we have to make schedules and stick to them, ladies. Next week, don't forget to tune in. We have reached episode 24, ladies. I am so thankful that you guys have been sticking in and tuning in this long. Thank you for tuning in. This is Chitter Chatter, and we are out. It's been a plum-pleasing pleasure, ladies.
As well as a privilege to have the honor to talk to you guys today about stop. Stop, ladies. Stop in the morning. Stop in the evening. Stop at night. Stop. Yes, just stop. Good night. Ladies, stop. Good night. Stop. This is what I mean. Stop. Let's toast the night away.
This is why. Good night, ladies.
Good night, ladies.